Bro, yo, stop what you're doing, bro. Yo, this new anime just come out, bro, and this shit is fire, bro. Hold on, let me put it on for you real quick.
Bro, what? I was watching that.
Bro, this is the beginning after the end, bro. Yo, I'm telling you, man, it was a manhwa. I read all of it, right? Bro, I'm so happy it became an anime, bro. Cause Solo Leveling walked so that the beginning after the end could run. And when I say run, I'm talking like he be running like Usain Bolt, bro. Like he be out, bro. He be sprinting.
Bro, this is literally Jobless Reincarnation. Like 1-to-1.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro? This shit is fire.
No, bro, like look, they're literally doing this. If you put them side by side, they're the exact same. Like, what even is this?
That shit do look kinda similar.
Bro, you can't look at this side by side and tell me the beginning after the end is better. Bro, like that's, come on, bro, come on. Like, look at that. Bro, I'm not dealing with
bro,
nah.
I admit, it's a little similar, but you missing the greatest anime of all time, bro. Come on, man. Sit down and watch.
We need to talk about what went wrong with the beginning after the end. In my opinion, based on the manhwa, this anime was going to be one of the next big things, but somehow it just didn't click. And I do want to say that the manhwa is actually really good. The author, Turtle Me, created a rich world and a different take on a protagonist in an isekai, which makes the story feel even more alive. The anime, on the other hand, just completely fails to capture almost any of that quality. But the thing is, the beginning after the end, I'm not gonna keep calling this way too long. TBATE was actually inspired by Mushoku Tensei. Both series feature reincarnated protagonists navigating magical worlds, learning spells, making friends, and getting themselves into crazy situations. And inspiration is completely fine. The issue is that TBATE struggles to execute on anything that the manga did pretty well. Also, I just want to preface, I'm a huge fan of Mushoku Tensei. I think it does a lot of things well, almost everything even. But while I'm on the topic of similarities and differences, I need to express that Mushoku Tensei has a huge issue with over-sexualizing a lot of things, and a lot of things that don't need to be sexualized. And while some of it lands as pretty good fan service, some of it just doesn't. Like come on. And whenever those scenes pop up, that right arrow key is just my best friend. And before I start to bash on TBATE, this is the one thing I will give them, is that I do feel like they handled Arthur's child stages way better. Instead of awkward or eyebrow raising moments, it leans into casual humor and lighthearted jokes, which I guess is also what a kid's life is supposed to be about. That alone makes that portion of the anime pretty okay to watch. So what actually went wrong with TBATE? Well, first of all, even though it was inspired by Mushoku Tensei, the anime, especially in the beginning, is way too similar. Again, both series are presented as a classic isekai with overpowered protagonists, a magical world, and coming-of-age storylines. In TBATE, the protagonist King Gray, who was a super powerful king in his time, is reborn as Arthur and quickly becomes one of the most powerful mages. And in Mushoku Tensei, the protagonist is portrayed as a 30-year-old shut-in loser who gets hit by Chuck-chan, like in every isekai anime, and then gets reborn as Rudius, who then also goes on to become one of the most powerful mages. But the thing is, in the anime, Rudius's growth feels way more lively and actually well documented. Every spell, every victory, every single awkward moment he experiences builds on who he is. Not to mention his erectile dysfunction arc had people actually feeling like he was relatable. But Arthur, he basically zips from one milestone to the next, and the show makes it really hard to care. In the manhwa, Arthur's interaction with his friends and people you would consider his rivals have a lot more meaning behind them. But in the anime, these scenes are just condensed into quick montages. You're basically told he's a prodigy, but it's not really explained, and you don't see his prodigy nature. It's like someone told you they baked the cake, but they don't tell you why, or how, or when, or who it was for, whose birthday it was for. They just told you they baked the cake and it's there. But then you compare that to Mushoku Tensei, where Rudius' school arcs are paced extremely well, letting you feel actual rivalry, friendship, and growth. On top of that, Arthur's character development is a complete disaster in the anime. Rudius is messy, flawed, awkward, and human. You watch him make mistakes and you feel them. Arthur, he's just completely competent from the start. Emotional moments that work really well in the manhwa, like his relationship with his new family and his friends, feel like they're completely lost in the adaptation. And it's things like this where you feel like the execution of the anime is pretty questionable. Certain scenes just feel like the animators were copying the manhwa and just put it in the microwave to make it what they would call anime ready. Even the fight scenes in TBATE leave your jaw on the ground, and not in the good way, like in the flabbergasted, what is this bullshit I'm looking at kind of way. In the manhwa, battles are strategic, strategic, tense, and visually exciting. In the anime, it feels like they're over in a split second, leaving you scratching your head wondering if the magic just decided to do its own thing. Arthur's wins in the anime don't really feel as earned, and the tension is just completely gone. And then you realize that the anime rushes through story points and emotional arcs like it's on a roller coaster with no breaks. It just keeps going and going and going and doesn't give you any room to breathe. The manhwa, on the other hand, actually takes its time, letting relationships, conflicts, and the world itself actually breathe. In TBATE, a dramatic scene that should feel dramatic flies by with barely a pound of weight. But in Mushoku Tensei, comparable arcs are carefully built, giving every moment significance.
All right, bro, yo, come check this out, man. Yo, I'm telling you.
Bro, you already got strike one. What you trying to show me now?
Oh, you see the frames of that, bro? I'm telling you, man, this is animated pretty well. Tell me this is not better. Tell me this is the same, bro. Tell me that Jobless Reincarnation is better.
Bro, is this a PowerPoint slideshow? Where's the animation?
Is it possible? Look at this.
Bro, your eyes are being deceived right now. Like, just look.
I'm not gonna lie. The fight scenes are better. These fight scenes are better. This is, wow.
It's not even comparable.
God damn, look at the color in that.
Bro, at this point, it's not even comparable. That was a disgrace. It was disrespectful.
Alright, bro, right now it's better. But we give it some time, bro, it's gonna cook. I mean, Jobless got like 2 seasons. So, I mean, you know what I mean? I believe in the beginning after the end.
Bro, don't ever show me some shit ever again. Like, I don't trust you no more.
I'm thinking it, you're thinking it, everybody was thinking it. This animation was hot fucking garbage. Fight scenes in the anime often look like slideshows with flashes and the high-speed anime filter slapped on top of it. Character movements are stiff, the camera angles were awkward, and the magic, I don't even know what was going on with the magic. It's like the only thing they were actually animating in the show was walking. And sometimes they wouldn't even do that. They would just skip forward. And I'm like, bro, at least let them walk. An anime like this, where the mage is the protagonist, is supposed to thrive off the visuals. But the visuals in this, it was like dead on arrival. Arthur's first big battle with the bandits in the manhwa feels way more cinematic, with clear stakes and magical energy that felt real, which is crazy because it's also through a still image. The anime, completely static images, some flashes like I was talking about, and a oh look, magic happened kind of vibe. It's like watching someone just play a magic themed PowerPoint. And then you have the world itself, and the world building in the anime, everything is so rushed. It's like the situation with Tower of God, God of High School. Don't even get me started on God of High School. I don't know what was going on in the last few episodes, bro. That shit was going by way too fast. And it feels kind of similar in TBATE. The manhwa presents a living, breathing fantasy world, cities, forests, magical landscapes that feel real. None of it feels that way in the anime. It just flattens all of that into like a basic background that you could use as a generic wallpaper. Even Arthur's magic system, which is clever in the manhwa, just becomes a string of flashy, disconnected spells. The strategy and depth that went into it, completely out the window. They may have well just used CGI. Honestly, shit, they might have used CGI, honestly. I have no idea. And even the relationships just feel completely watered down. His bonds with his friends and family are supposed to develop naturally and have real emotional weight, but instead, the way the anime executed it made it feel like the relationship exists just to advance the plot. Rudius in Mushoku Tensei has relationships that feel earned with real stakes and growth. He quite literally earned the respect of Rudiger, and that shit, bro, that shit was fucking crazy. In TBATE, Arthur's arcs skim over these moments in the anime. It's just really hard to keep up and feel immersed in his story because of this. Honestly, I could go on, but at the end of the day, the beginning after the end had all the ingredients for the manhwa to be like one of the next big hits similar to Solo Leveling. It had a compelling premise, a magical world, and a protagonist with room to grow. The manhwa proved that. But in the anime, rushed pacing, underdeveloped characters, shallow emotional moments, and lackluster animation that holds it back. And that's the biggest issue with the anime.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, you were right. Beginning after the end is trash. But I found out why it was trash.
Why?
Because they just announced season 2, bro. That's the reason why. They were saving their budget for season 2, man. Season 2 about to go crazy, bro. Season 3, let me tell you, bro, I read the manga. Season 3, bro, you ain't gonna wanna miss it. None like Jobless Reincarnation, bro. You about to be jobless after you finish watching it, because you're gonna be reincarnated in the next body, which is the beginning after the end.
Bro, you serious?
Alright, it's the beginning of all of our anime watching and the end of us suffering from bad anime, bro.
I'm not having no blue watch scenario, bro.
It is the beginning.
They ain't getting me again.